Chat. Let's do some fun. We're gonna see. Odd version of fun, but what the hell did he fun? Is falling on a car safer than falling on pavement? Chat, we have twisted binds and I fucking love it. It's smart skitty. Try refreshing? I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with Amazon. Let's find out. Is falling on, like, out of pocket. I actually can understand the logic behind falling on a car it is safe for the pavement for one very specific reason. A car is designed to buckle. Yeah, Archon, I kind of would too, because a car is designed with crumple zones. It is designed to buckle. Pavement is not. So, legitimately, the car could actually be considered safer, depending upon the height, of course.
We've all seen it in movies, where a character will fall out of a building, land on a car, and survive.
Hello YouTube, come by to twitch.tv/emberparadox and to do this experiment together.
Oh, stop, no, we're not doing the experiment, Darkwolf. Oh, no, nobody at home do this experiment. Please.
Today we test movie physics and see if a car will break your fall and be any better than falling on pavement. All right, let's see if I can survive
Thank
this.
you, Crimson.
For science, give me a countdown. 3. No. Wait. Second thought. Now, sometimes characters do die when
I'm actually genuinely curious how he rigged up this stunt. Like, did he literally drop? I can't tell if there's still a connection attached here. Hang on. No, they disconnected. Oh, I see what they did. He's got a crash mat under him here, and then when they did this shot, he's still attached to the line, and they're just doing a quick rapid descent. No, I don't think it painted out. I think this is literally a completely different shot. And here, this is one shot where he does have a car, and he's probably got a crash mat of some sort underneath him. Probably not even that high off the ground. Maybe he's like a foot or two off the ground. Because here you can see he's still tethered. He's still tethered to the line, I think. And, they're doing this shot, and then it's going to, he'll probably fall a foot or two, and then the line will go taut, and he will stop. Yeah, that's my guess. It's still funny, though.
Now, sometimes characters do die when they land on a car, but that just means they weren't the main character. There are several scenarios where this happens in movies. One is where the character is slowed down by something before they land. The other is they're just superhuman, and some of them are just plain old dudes who we're supposed to believe are somehow superhuman. We'll be testing just the average dude scenario. There are 3 ways a car could break your fall that I want to test: falling on the hood, the back window, and the roof. In addition to that, we'll talk about the practical effects that Hollywood uses to make these stunts look a little more exciting than what happens in real life.
Hey.
To see if you could survive falling on the car, I'm going to be dropping my 110-pound test dummy and using shock watches to measure it. You probably see.
Okay, if you wanted to be realistic with this, you should have gone with at least a 150-pound test dummy. Dropping a 110-pound supermodel is a lot different from your average person who is probably closer to about 150. No, Revan, I want realism in my testing. And yeah, he's got, like, these shock watches are actually pretty cool. I like them. They're pretty neat. And Samuel Lemus, thank you for the follow.
Seen these on Mythbusters. There's stickers that measure G-force. I've got a 50G, 75, and 100G. If I remember correctly from Mythbusters, 50 Gs on the torso, you're injured, but you'll live. 75 Gs means you're mortally injured. You're injured, but you're gonna die. 100 Gs, insta-dead. And on the head, 50 G's is also insta-dead. But what matters more here than just the shock watches is a comparison between falling on the ground and falling on the car and how much of a difference it makes.
Atamashi.
Sticker doesn't stick very well. No, no.
So we're using the Deadpool method of attachment. I approve. I approve of this method.
This is what we'll be dropping the dummy with today. This is a 10,000 pound quick release. It's called a Sweeney Trip, made by Matt Sweeney Special Effects. This is kind of, it seems to be the industry standard for trips. It's the same model I believe they used on Mythbusters.
Okay,
so,
Colonel.
this kind of means a lot to me. This is pretty cool.
Oh, Colonel. I should probably say this now, just in case anybody's not going to be here for tomorrow. I am not streaming on Friday. I'm taking Friday. I will not be streaming Friday. I have family time on Friday, so no stream this Friday. Just so you know.
This is my first time driving one of these things.
Where's my OSHA manual? Someone fetch me my OSHA manual. Yeah, Anubis.
I started this channel because I grew up wanting to be a Mythbusters, but Mythbusters doesn't exist anymore. Dropping a dummy from a boom lift with shock watch.
I thought Mythbusters was kind of still around. I thought they were doing like Mythbusters The Next Generation.
Why am I getting Mythbusters vibes?
Okay, how many times are we gonna be saying? How many more times are we gonna be saying Mythbusters? Seriously, how many more times?
Watches is about as Mythbusters as it gets.
Fucking hell! Jesus!
This is the control test, dropping it onto the ground in 3, 2, 1.
Died.
Yeah! It bounced! Check out the gravel bounce. This dude's insides have to be
soft.
Oh, he is so
Damn, looked like it hurt. Yes, they
like
did, Anubis.
Unbelievably dead. Yeah, 100 G's to the head, 100 G's to the chest. Look at the
Ouch.
form. 10 out of 10. The thud was solid. Like I could hear it 65 feet up in the air. One of my dream videos.
Oh, is that the new meta? If we say Mythbusters 3 times, Adam Savage will appear in my stream. Okay, I'm game. Mythbusters, Mythbusters, Mythbusters. Fucking hell. Okay, the challenge is saying it without getting tongue-tied. I get completely tongue-tied on that.
Is to be invited to either a special effects shop or a big movie set on the day of a big action scene to be able to witness and document and film some of the cool big practical effects and mechanical special effects like nitrogen cannons, car flippers, cable accelerators, big wire gags, the cool stuff. And to be able to talk to some of the special effects people working on these cool stunts and see how it works. Because it used to be that they would do behind the scenes stuff on like DVDs, but that doesn't happen anymore. And even then it wasn't very in the weeds. So if you work at a special effects house or a big movie studio and you'd like to have me out and show off your cool project, I'd be totally down for that. This one's going right on the roof of the car. Going up.
There we go. Let's see how good his aim is.
That's a lot of swing.
Holy fuck, that's high.
Oh my God! I'm looking through the floor grate to aim for the car.
Hold on.
Will a car roof break your...
Hold on. I want to see something here. Hang on.
I'm looking through the floor grate to aim...
I want to see if he's wearing this harness correctly. These little straps should not be swaying freely like this, gamer. These straps should be secured in elasticized loops. I'm seeing an OSHA violation. When I back in my last job, when we would have not only a forklift, but we would have like what's called a picker, where it's it's basically a device where you jump in a basket, kind of sort of like this, but it only goes up and down. You can't actually like roll it around on the wheels. And we would have to wear one of these harnesses to strap ourselves in. And one of the key things about your harness is you are not supposed to have these straps flapping around like this. Yeah, so Jorgen, I probably used very similar to what you did. Yeah, it was kind of like a scissor lift, Andrea. Yeah, similar. It's just you couldn't like move it like forward, back, or anything. It was you had to actually push it into place, and then you would jump into it. But you would have to wear one of these harnesses. Yeah, well, that's what it was, Silvery. It's a cherry picker. That's exactly what it was.
Oh my God! I'm looking through the floor grate to aim for the car. Will a car roof break your fall? Dropping the dummy in 3, 2, 1.
Solid hit.
1.
That was a solid hit. I'm curious what the
Okay, get me down from here. Oh my God. Interesting results.
God.
Wow. So 50 G's to the head, dead. But it didn't trip the 75 G's on the head. They got 75 G's to the torso, which means mortally injured, you're gonna die. But 50 G's to the head, this guy's for sure dead. Well, according to Mythbusters, this guy was in fact not the main character.
Wait. But hold up. Am I wrong? Or did he not drop the dummy from a substantially higher point than dropping on concrete? Hold up. Hold the fuck up. Okay, chat, remember 522. Is it the same height? Because he was not... Is this the same height? I can't tell if this is the same height. Yeah, he does have different straps on, you're right. Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's from the same height. The car cut some of it? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he's talking about like the swayings. I don't know.
Man, falling out of a building is a bad day. You know what's also a bad day? Spam. Robocall.
That died.
The problem with data brokers is ever increasing. Data brokers aggregate your personal information and sell it to businesses, bad guys, whoever. Well, good news, there is something you can do about it. You have the right to privacy and to request that data brokers delete the information they have about you. As new threats arise in this world, so do new countermeasures, which is what this video's sponsor Incogni offers. Incogni reaches out to data brokers and does all the work for you to have your information removed.
Wait, Incogni and Delete Me are really making the rounds with content creators these days.
Pursues them to remove it.
There's pretty much like two major ones, Incogni and Delete Me. They're making a third one.
Is create an account, grant Incogni the right to work for you,
odds on sheet is another form of Delete Me.
Can't protect you from falling
because it's big business these days. This is a very lucrative business right now.
Exclusive 60% off an annual plan. You might have noticed the horrible green screen here, so I'll show you how I did this. Let me just get rid of the plate photo,
okay,
and the mask, and the green key.
Okay. So we green screened it. Okay, I was wrong. I thought it was 2 shots.
Oh, grab this nice.
Very careful. Oh. That was a little higher than last time.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, me neither, Red. Well, in fairness to us, the transition from the one shot to the other was so quick that we didn't have time to really examine it to tell if it was a green screen. And in freeze frame, we probably might not have been able to tell it was a green screen, given the angle and the blur. So, it was a good trick, though. That's probably why it was so quick. It was on purpose for that. But it was a good effect. Props to him, it was a good effect. Like, we thought, like, it was just 2 different shots, and that he actually was still tethered in the second one. So, absolute props on the effect. It was good.
So this time we're gonna do the back glass, and I'm gonna position the body to where the head hits the window and the feet hit the roof to maybe see if the window will cushion the head a little more than the sheet metal. All right, back window in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, dead. Oh, fucking dead. Yeah.
It looks just like the movies.
Oh, he is so fucking dead.
Wow. Yeah, he dead, for sure. Definitely not the main character. It didn't trip the 50 on the torso. So this part of him lived, totally fine. This part, extra dead. Now notice how...
That's a bit of a factor that is not kind of taken into account, is dead weighting it. Because when you fall and hit, how many of you guys, when you've like fallen onto your back, you don't just kind of let your head limp, and you don't, and you try and keep your head from whipping backwards and slamming into the ground. That's one of the things when you fall. One of the things that you do instinctively is you deliberately try to avoid snapping your head back. And with a dead weight like this, you can't factor. No, it doesn't always work sometimes. You are correct about that. Like, it's not a guarantee that you're going to be able to prevent it, because plenty of people, even if they try to prevent their head from snapping backwards and creating whiplash, it's still going to happen. It absolutely will still happen. But there is something else you can do that people tend to kind of do a little bit instinctively, is when you hit, you slap your arms down to your side to sort of cushion the impact and to brace yourself. And while everyone may not do it quite instinctively, it is generally like when you fall, one of the first things you do is you put your hands down when you hit to try and cushion it. And it is what they train you to do in stunt performing, is that when you hit, you slap your arms down to try and cushion it. In this, it's full dead weight. So there's a little, like, I'm not saying it's invalidating the tests or anything, but there are some factors that can't be taken into an account when you use a limp, dead weight torso like this that could potentially mitigate some of these impacts, like the head. Now, what I do wonder is if he'd done this drop with the head facing this way instead of facing this way. If the head was not, because don't forget, the head took an extra whiplash because it went through the glass and there was more empty space beneath the head. If the head was on this side and it hit, the legs would have been the one to swing down through that extra space. And I would have to wonder if that might have factored in and maybe not caused as much impact on the upper half of the torso. That's something, and unfortunately, he's only got the one car, so he can't test it. Yeah, exactly. If the upper torso was on the roof instead of the back glass, the impact may have been lessened somewhat.
The side windows and the doors are untouched, and the roof just collapsed, but the doors stayed upright. I've seen that a lot in other videos where people drop steel plates on cars to flatten them, but the doors stay untouched, and that is unlike the movies. You're probably wondering, Tyler, this doesn't look at all like it does in the movies, and that's because they add on a little bit of special effects. one of which is to blow out the glass. What I think they might be doing is using a glass breaker, which is just a little steel spike with a squib charge to break the glass, and then they blow out the window with an air cannon, and the air cannon can probably shoot either more fake glass or real glass. Another thing that happens in the movies and not in real life is the roof caves in a lot
have a great
more
night.
than what we've seen here. And the way I've seen them do that is they will weld or rivet a doubler plate to the bottom of the sheet metal for the roof,
and just
that
yoink it down.
Will then get body work to make the roof look factory, and that plate will also have a big fitting underneath that they can attach a big pneumatic cylinder to yank the sheet metal inwards. And to aid in that, they can also score and cut the pillars in strategic spots. We're gonna drop it on the hood next. Feet first this time, because we've seen enough of him falling flat. Feet first in 3, 2,
oh boy.
1.
Yeah, the lights are gone. Although your legs are fucked, you've literally just pulverized your legs. You would have your shin bones, sticking out of your skin by potentially survivable. Potentially survivable.
Where's the head? Good Lord. 75 G's, 100 G's on the head, super
Dad.
dead.
100 G's on the head? Really?
I'd say,
Shit.
That's totally
Well, I was
busted.
wrong.
Movie physics, nonsense.
Okay, so I was wrong. I thought survival, not a chance in hell. Shit, I was very wrong on that one. Huh. I'll be damned. Okay. Not only dead, but very dead.